My name is Mungala Mbuvi, and of course I'm with City Muga in the studio. We're also joined by constitutional lawyer Honorable Charles Nyachae. Mheshimiwa, karibu tena sana to Radio Generation tena na tena. We actually enjoy your company every time you come here because you tell us, things to do with history, and then now you make it contemporary and then tell us what's currently happening. So karibu sana to Radio Generation.
Asante sana. Allow me to make a correction.
Yeah.
I shy away from being described as a constitutional lawyer.
Oh.
I prefer to be described as a student of the Constitution and law. Because constitutional lawyer sounds much more accomplished than I feel.
But you are having been a judge of the East Africa Court of Justice,
yes.
Having served as the chairman of the Constitution of Kenya implementation.
Yeah.
I mean, you have been there. If you're not a constitutional lawyer, of course you are other titles as well.
Yes.
But that one, I feel it's very well placed.
It's work in progress. I mean,
Paul, the good justice doesn't want to be pampered.
He's been modest.
No,
seriously.
He's actually just saying. By the way, when you have embarked on a certain path,
Yes.
okay,
Right.
the truth of the matter is, you graduated from college. What did they tell you? That you've been given power
to read.
and all that appertains.
Yes.
Exactly.
You don't stop being a student. That's really the point that he's making. You actually never really stop. You're the student of that subject matter that people take the view that you're an expert in.
Yes.
Expertise can't be expertise if you're not constantly learning.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right.
But having said that, I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you very much. I feel honored to have the opportunity. I always welcome an opportunity to discuss Katiba and related issues.
Yeah. There's a viewer, before I get into more serious matters.
Yes.
A viewer is asking me, is Charles Muga and Charles Nyachae, are they twins?
By the way, he could be closer to the truth than he probably knows.
Look at Charles Muga looking at me as though I've asked a question in Kikuyu.
It is not that. It is me deleting what it is that is in my mind and what I want to say.
No, actually,
Yes.
if I were to shave your hair, the beard and the head, unaweza fanana na Charles.
Okay.
So you actually could be twins.
But look at it this way.
Yes.
When somebody makes an observation and they decide to broadcast it, we thank them. and
Okay, sawa. You could be twins. All right, so Mwesha, I wanted to ask you this question in regards to the elections that we witnessed last week on Thursday.
Yes.
What do you think of what happened?
From which perspective?
From where you were sitting, whether you watched it on TV, whether you participated, what do you think about the whole thing?
Okay, I made a couple of observations. One of the major observations that I made is sadly there was too much violence. I'm not saying there should be any violence at all, but
this one was a lot.
Yeah, maybe it's because there were fewer of those where the elections were, but there seemed to be a lot of violence. The other thing also, there seemed. You see, now I'm talking about those things that cannot be disputed because we all saw them.
Yes.
What the law traditionally calls treating, which basically is endeavoring to bribe voters with cash handouts. That's a very, very, very sad thing, which could be seen all over the place.
Right.
That said, I try in my mind to separate what is factual and what people, their feelings people hold because of their political perspectives. So you will find, for example, and I know we're going to talk about the commission.
Right.
You'll find many allegations, but nobody offers concrete, backing for those allegations.
So there's no concrete evidence as to what is being said about the commission.
In many areas. I mean, of course, how the commission handle the two issues that I have mentioned,
the violence and the bribery.
I think that's a legitimate point of discussion. But the other things, the allegations you read about, but that's just what they are.
But what really can the commission do about the violence? Because I don't know. When I look at the mandate of the commission, them is just to ensure that, of course, the elections are free and fair. But what a voter or anyone else outside the purview of the commission does, how really can they influence that?
The commission gets a lot of beating, and perhaps it's understandable because its mandate is to manage the electoral process. But for us to have elections as are contemplated by the Constitution, there are a lot of players who must, do their part,
including the police.
Including the police,
right?
Including bodies that are charged, for example, the issue of corruption and so on. But most importantly, including wananchi themselves, because it's not IEBC who are seen creating violence or fighting out there. It's not IEBC which was dishing out money. So wananchi, if we are honest with ourselves, wananchi we have to up our game as wananchi if we are going to be able to look at the electoral process and say that we have had elections that are free and fair, accountable. Of course, the Constitution specifically talks about peaceful and elections that are violence free. So mwananchi, and some of these issues are very complex. For example, even without elections, one of the things that really bothers me as a Kenyan who has reached an age where by the time umefika miaka ile ukienda kijiji unaitwa mzee, it's it comes with certain responsibilities.
For sure.
Yeah, and when I look at this issue, for example, of absent elections, but continuously, and I see this all the time in my neck of the woods, where the major political activity is always telling people, line up, and you dish out money to them. It makes me very, very, very sad, and it seems to be getting worse. And then, of course, when you have an election, again, that becomes, in many ways, even during election campaigning, it becomes a primary activity.
But much more, let's be honest. Who exactly motivates these Kenyans to go into violence? Because chances are, I just wake up every morning, rather on the election day, to go and vote. But I meet this aspirant who tells me, I want you to go and create commotion over there. And of course, he motivates me with a few coins so that I can go and carry out his orders. It should, as much as we are blaming the citizens, shouldn't we also just look at the brand of politicians we have?
By the way, I'm not blaming the citizens. I just want them to be alive to the facts.
But I'm blaming them.
And I'm one of them,
Yeah.
to be alive to the fact that we are major contributors
Yes.
to that situation. Political violence, in my view, those people you see caught on camera perpetrating violence, I think fall into two categories.
Okay.
There could be, or I'm sure there is, a category of people who are called in the morning or the previous night and they are told, sasa utaenda pale, that particular place, cause this commotion, scare the people, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure that happens.
Yeah.
But there's another side to violence which I think we never discuss about, where violence starts with violent language from leaders, from political leaders.
Yes.
So the wananchi now, it becomes
Are incited into this violence.
into this.
Okay.
Even subconsciously. And that's another area that really leaders need to be held accountable. And in my view, it's across the board. It's every political formation. Very few, and one can probably you can probably identify them. Very few of the political leaders, the leaders of parties and so on, very few of them remain what I would describe as completely civil in their engagement.
That's a very interesting perspective, because I am now getting to see it, that incitement aspect of just telling, it's like conditioning your supporters towards a certain agenda, telling them that this person or these people are like this and like that, using even derogative words and so on and so forth. It's crazy, eh? So you can actually just make your people start fighting over nothing.
Paul, go a little bit back into history.
Yeah.
Look at Kanu or Kadu. These parties had youth wings. What exactly did the youth do? There were many young people who aligned themselves to a political party. What was their role? When did you actually see them active? You see, the thing that the youth do well is they mobilize. But mobilization is not just getting people to attend a rally or to attend a function. If there is need, and again, even during the era of the single party state, so long as two people are vying for a political seat, it doesn't mean there was no competition. There was always competition. Who do you think were engaged by these politicians to try and get the better of one or whoever it is who their opponent? There was one thing about that particular era that I liked. When people were campaigning, you all campaigned to the same platform that was overseen by the district commissioner.
Yes.
You come and say, even if you're four of you, each of you will come and sell your agenda to the people at the same forum. Okay? It's something I really liked. I wish that was the case. Now, in such a case, the issue of bribery did not arise. You know why? Everybody's follower came to that particular forum. So there was a nice snapshot.
So the debate was balanced.
Well, you're given an opportunity to talk, but sometimes you are not. Sometimes, sometimes depending on what you said, there are individuals who stood up to say and would say something against the government, and the DC would take away the microphone, and that would be the end of that. What I'm trying to say is this: the role of young people in politics in this country has always been aligned towards some form of violence. Now, when multipartyism came in, we actually devolved it because we devolved political parties, and each political party had its youth wing. Now, the same activity. Why am I going into history? I am talking about the normalization of violence in our politics. That's what I'm talking about. We normalized it a long time ago. There are people who will, one, disrupt rallies of the opponents. There are people who will ensure that this particular person or anybody who dares oppose a certain individual is roughed up or discouraged thoroughly from actually participating. These are things we do not and we have not spoken loudly against, so we've normalized it. As for the bribery, I think you know my view. The citizenry, poverty notwithstanding, they have a choice to refuse. They do not refuse.
Yes.
So, they are willing participants. Nobody coerces you. You think people come to your house and force you to take 200 shillings? No, you leave your house and then you go and queue. Nobody's forced to go and queue.
But Charles.
Yes, please.
In my view, everything you have said, I agree with.
Except.
But no, I don't. No. I just want to take it a little bit further. The solution, in my view, can only come from the leaders. I don't want to downplay that issue of poverty. You know what? In my neck of the woods, what I see regularly, say you go to a funeral, where politicians come, the member of parliament will stand up, say, oh, you know, pole kwa hii familia.
One statement.
One statement. Sina mengi ya kusema. I'm going to another funeral mahali fulani, he names it. Lakini sasa the funeral is ongoing. Anasema kabla sijaenda si mnajua ile kimila yetu yale mambo tunafanya. He stands up and half the
crowd,
they follow him.
Yeah.
The funeral is ongoing. They follow him. And you know they line up, they're given whatever it is amount of money. So Charles, poverty is real. The pressures and what we expect those wananchi, the choices we expect them to make
are very difficult.
They're very difficult.
Are we poorer now as a country than we were in, say, 1980 or 1984 or 85?
As a country?
Yes, as a country. Are we poorer?
Do you mean the citizens?
No. The widespread nature of poverty, okay? Because if you go to an earlier time, the subsistence existence of most Kenyans was wow.
I would
go ahead, please.
I would actually say that I didn't exist in 1985, but I can say that right now people are broke than they were in the 90s, for example.
How do you know this?
Because I was alive in the 90s.
You were a child in the 90s.
Yes, I was.
You know,
but yeah,
Charles, I use as a form of measurement. That's why I keep saying what I see at home. You know, here in Nairobi, quite honestly, it's the only time, like me and probably you, when we interact with the what I would call the ordinary mwananchi is maybe when you're talking to the soldier out there, like that. So it's not very effective interaction like what I would see the few hours I am in the village visiting my mother, and as they see me going inside the compound, they know atatoka maybe after like 3 hours na atatupata hapa. And you see
they will lay you.
Yeah, and you know the levels. For me, it's a really a difficult choice for these people. I mean, even like I was saying, soldiers here in Nairobi, Charles, you know very well, we carry small change. Ni kweli?
Unamsalimia ukitoka.
Unamsalimia. Not because you have to, but
you understand.
Yeah. So now let us juxtapose this now into politics and the election cycle. first of all, the figures go up and more frequently, because when people are campaigning, they're going around every day. So the occasional. So if, for example, I went to campaign in my home constituency, you see, right now when I go to visit my mother, when I'm coming, those mamas, if I give them 200 shillings each, they're very, very happy, which also tells you that there's a serious issue. Now, if it was an election
but
cycle,
it also tells you the Kenya shilling has more value at home than it does in town.
Oh, for sure.
that is true.
Yes.
That is true. That is true. You know, it took me a long time to internalize this poverty I'm talking about, because when you see how appreciative those mamas are, or the young people whom you're giving 200 shillings. So now, assume now I'm in the electoral cycle.
Yes.
Number one, I will be there longer and nizunguke more. So definitely their expectations are high, and I'm looking for votes. I'm looking the first time when the first example I've given.
Yes.
Me having gone to visit my mother. I'm not asking them for anything.
Yep.
I'm just seeing.
You're going home.
The home. These are our neighbors. I can see clearly this 200 shillings means a lot to them, so you give them. But now you go there and you're looking for their votes.
So the stakes are high.
The stakes are high.
The dynamics change.
They change completely.
They change because now there's something you want.
Yes.
When you simply go to visit your mom, these are neighbors, relatives.
Yes.
The conversation is completely different, and your relationship with the conversation is different. The moment you state that you are vying, power dynamics change.
It becomes transactional now.
Yes, and now what you've done is you've given them the power to demand.
Yes.
Before they cannot demand.
Yes.
Now they can demand.
Because you are asking them for something.
Yes, and that is why they will wait outside now. When you announce, they'll fill the compound.
Yes, and then there's another aspect to this. This wananchi over and leaders should be concerned about this. Over a period of time, this wananchi have actually internalized that naona huyu Muga ambaye anataka kuwa mjumbe,
ndio
akiwa mjumbe hakuna kitu, there's nothing I'm going to get from him.
Yeah, so nichukue saizi.
Whatever it is that is available I take now, because hakuna benefit ingine.
The moment we vote for him, ndivyo.
Yeah. Now, leaders should be worried about that.
Yeah. So now, Mheshimiwa, back to the question of IEBC. Are they well equipped? Are they capable of holding the 2027 general, which is going to be several times bigger than what we experienced on Thursday? Do they have the capability to run the elections in 2027?
I'll answer that at two levels. The short answer is I have not seen anything, even as they conducted the by-elections. I have not seen anything that tells me that the commission would be more challenged than it has been before. Because there are always challenges, the commission. Some of them are the things that we're discussing. So my short answer would be that taking the commission as it is and the mandate it is called upon to execute, I would say I do believe they can manage the elections. What I would expect, let me say this.
Okay.
If I was a member of the commission and we're in the boardroom now, Leo Skui, as we are talking, the things that would be taxing my mind are at two levels. One, what is it that we saw or witnessed or experienced in the just concluded by elections?
Yes.
That we as a commission need to be able to respond to better perhaps than we did. And these are the things that we're talking about. For example, they got quite a bit of flack, the violence in Kasipul, and I think those guys were fined, is it 1 million shillings each?
Yeah.
Which they paid promptly, and so IEBC got the flack that they should have been more.
The penalty should have been higher.
Sanction should have been tougher. But for me, I would say that is a judgment call, and we all live in this country. Visualize a situation. The election is over, so now we can use it as an example. Visualize a situation where IEBC says, hapa Kasipul, tumeangalia, this violence is being perpetrated by the ODM candidate. I'm just giving an example.
Yes.
And tumeangalia the sanction, the fitting sanction is to disqualify this candidate. What would be the reaction? It's very easy for wananchi to criticize IEBC.
Yes.
But we live, Charles, in a country that is polarized. There are many people, commentators and so on. If you listen to them a month ago, for them, they were arguing that in this election,
yes,
Mbere, Malava, Kasipul, if X wins, that in and of itself is evidence that there was rigging. There were serious people who...
Oh, yeah.
And it reminds me, you won't remember, but Charles will remember, the 92 elections. Of course, the opposition lost to Moi, and I remember them addressing the press conference after the results, and the late great Mzee Adonija Jaramogi Oginga Odinga said, and I paraphrase, that Kanu stole this election. The journalist asked him, Mheshimiwa, what demonstrates
this theft?
This theft. Yeah, what is it that enables you to
arrive at this conclusion?
Yeah. And Mzee said that what demonstrates that they stole is the fact that they won. Seriously. if they didn't steal,
they would have lost.
Without stealing.
Yes. So I'm very wary. I'm very wary of some of the accusations against the commission where they are not substantiated. But to answer your question,
yes, there
is plenty that IEBC can observe from the just concluded by-elections. And it's not, some of the challenges have been there. And work on that. Because you asked me about the 27 election.
Yes.
Now, that's so. If I was in the boardroom there now, that's the first thing that I would be concerned about. The bigger thing that I would be concerned about, is there anything, or what is it that we can do to bridge the trust deficit between us as a commission and wananchi? Because that trust deficit is there, and I think it's there for historical reasons. So that to me will not militates against them being able to conduct the 27 elections. But the commission would help itself greatly if it found ways of addressing that trust deficit. And that trust deficit is historical. It's over a period of time, and people, we tend to think in black and white, and sometimes we introduce positions which are not factual, and they make that thinking worse.
For
example, I listen to very many people who say that the Supreme Court in 2017 found that the late Mzee Raila Odinga had won that election, and that's why they nullified. Far from the truth. The Supreme Court looked at the law, and they looked at the election, and they said, no, there's a major requirement here of this election. Must be verifiable.
There's a threshold that must be maintained.
Yes. So they didn't say that, but there are people who believe that on the basis of that nullification. So what I'm saying is that there's a lot of baggage that the commission has inherited from history, which they must find a way. They may not be able to deal with it completely, but they must find a way of lightening that baggage. But in my opinion, I have not seen anything to suggest that they can't
handle elections. If we look at the Public Service Ethics Act, where public servants, civil servants are not to act as party agents for any political outfit. But in this particular by-election, we really saw our CSAs, PCSAs, the deputy president himself, the president, and other public servants of high office. They were literally campaigning for different candidates. So now what do we do in regards to that? Because it is in one way or another affecting our electoral process, our democratic processes.
I agree with you. It's a very difficult one in practical terms. The theory is good, but in practical terms, it's a difficult thing to tackle. When you're talking about leaders or people in government, you're also talking about the use of state resources. Where is the boundary? So it's complex. But you know what? Because I'm an optimist. I would take the path of starting from the known, going towards the unknown. What you have just described, I would put in upande unknown. But these things of bribery, violence. Those are things that I would I would focus on, and I would urge the commission to focus on. And in doing so, communication is also very important, so that you walk with the mwananchi, especially during the election period. The commission is making decisions daily, and there are decisions that are sensitive. They must balance so as not to be seen to be
in the history of this particular country, and our history of voting and whatever electoral body we had at any given point in time, when we look at the mandate that the electoral body had, this particular one in the 2010 Constitution, Article 88 lines it out quite clearly. One of the mandates that it has when it comes to regulations is to develop a code of conduct,
which is there.
and wish to enforce. Now, I have a problem.
The enforcement is
Hey, I have a problem. I have a problem because that one, they can come up with that code of conduct.
Yes, yes.
They can even talk about it. Now, in the by-elections we've just had, if IEBC had come out and made sure and broadcast widely the code of conduct that is expected and what it is that are the commensurate penalties that will follow people who abrogate these dictates. Said it over and over and over again because they could have. Meaning you're now telling people what is accepted and what is not.
Yes.
Now, you would then know, and you cannot, or let me put it, you then cannot say you do not know what one must not do. But they never do that. The enforcement bit, I don't understand. What did the Constitution think? How was IEBC supposed to enforce this? They can develop the code of conduct, but how are they supposed to enforce it?
You know, Charles, that is a very, very good question. My answer to that is that yes, IEBC is the electoral management body, but IEBC, the commission, is just like a cog. There are other
wheels.
You know, violence, for example, because it's an election, does not take away the fact that when you torch somebody's vehicle, you are committing an offense. It's elections or no elections. So even the other bodies that have a legal responsibility, should also be held to account. So it's not just IEBC, and I don't think we would deal with that problem, Charles, just by focusing on IEBC.
This is the beauty of being a layperson. I will focus on IEBC. I don't have the benefit of knowing the law as you do, so I'm going to trade on my ignorance. IEBC has this mandate. We know that there are institutions within the country that enforce the law. We do know this, okay? So that's esoteric. Let's talk about formulating and broadcasting the code of conduct.
There I agree with you, Kabisa.
Yes.
That one I agree with you, Kabisa. And as I say, if one was in the boardroom reviewing the just concluded by elections, that is something that it's important to reflect on. There is this code of conduct. The Wananchi maybe them, they may not know the contents, but I want to believe that the immediate players know the contents of that,
and they can broadcast it. You see, if they do not tell the citizenry in plain terms, okay? There's an advert that used to play on radio when we were children. Pika kwa kimbo.
Pika kwa kimbo.
Exactly. Okay. Now that was the funky version.
Yeah.
In our time, it was simple. Pika kwa kimbo. It was just
Evo
simple.
too.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then there was another one I used to hear of. Coca-Cola is it. If you are driving, say from Nairobi and going to Mombasa, Haki, when you reach Emali, you're going to go into a shop to buy Coca-Cola. Maybe you did not. What you want is a soft drink, but you'll buy Coca-Cola because
of the adverts that you've been hearing.
You've been hearing it. The IEBC has a low-hanging fruit. This low-hanging fruit puts them in a very good position to now deal or look for these other authorities within government that can deal with people who perpetrate these laid down regulations. State what these regulations are. Let people know over and over that these are the things that are expected. We know very well people are going to try and do what they need to do. Why were 17 people arrested in Kasipul? Because the police knew these guys are breaking the law.
Yes.
They knew. It's not that they don't know. They knew. They were arrested.
Yes. And that's why I'm saying, Charles,
Yes.
that it's not just IEBC. IEBC, yes, we cannot defend them from discharging their constitutional mandate, but we must also hold the other players in that process to account, like the police when people commit some of these crimes, like burning people's cars and so on and so forth. They must, those who have that responsibility, they need to discharge that responsibility. Then IEBC, because its responsibility is at another level. IEBC has the question of what sanctions relative to the election. The police, for example, have a general responsibility as regards whether election or no election. You cannot just touch Charles Muga's vehicle and walk away, whether or not there's an election. So that need to be attended to. Now, if there's an election, then that is attended to, and then IEBC should be able to say, in the context of the election, umefanya dhambi easy. Therefore, this is the sanction. This is how we are going to sanction you. But the biggest challenge in all this, Charles, is the rest of us, especially the politicians. There is, by the way, unless you address the culture of violence, for example, which starts from the political leaders, even from their language, unless you address that, it is going to continue to be a challenge. There are so many people with responsibility here. The expectation of the Constitution, for example, one of the mandates that IEBC has is civic education, pertaining to electoral matters. I don't think there has ever been a serious even attempt to discharge that responsibility, nor has Parliament, because that requires a lot of money. To the best of my knowledge, Parliament has never set aside money for that.
The problem, Charles, when it comes to that is this. Even when I saw this in the Uhuru era, even when civil society, who also do something similar, get funding, the government of that time demanded that the funds that these entities receive must first be deposited with the government. Now, the moment you hear that, you wonder, what the heck are you talking about? Okay?
Wait, what? And it actually happened?
No, they were not going to give the money. I mean,
they won't.
That's one.
So the end result is they don't get the money.
They don't get the money, and so the civic education you speak of doesn't arise. The reason why you find me harping on this particular one, see, I've avoided talking about regulating campaign financing because that one is beautiful in theory. In practice, it is an absolute nightmare. Okay, and the reason why it is a nightmare, we do know. The reason why social media thrives is because there are topical issues that come up and people then engage on those matters. If a matter regarding behavior, conduct is broadcast and it is on social media, it will be a subject of discussion. People will give their opinion. There are those who will say it's a waste of time. There are those who will say, but the discussion will be there. And with the discussion, you are getting to understand what the law says about these things, which right now we do not. We just know generally that's what they're supposed to do. But when you break it down in details, I give an example of government at its best giving you information. When we're changing the 1,000 shilling denomination in the Uhuru era. My friend, from the point they started, they told you the number of days. And they kept telling you, and they kept telling you, until there was 2 days, 3 days, then they even extended. They told you, you could not say you didn't know. Mutahi Kagwe, during COVID, every single day.
We even knew the time.
Every single day. If he wasn't there, an officer, you could not say you did not know. I know because I wash my hands religiously as a result of that.
True.
In fact, the course of a day in my own house, I wash my hands 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
Because I internalize. And in fact, the other day I was shocked. I was saying, I really internalized this thing, didn't I? Okay? Because it was put very simply. By simply washing your hands, you are preventing or you're limiting extensively the possibility of this. I'm going to rest my case, but I am saying there are low-hanging fruits that begin the IEBC on the journey of stemming on these problems that we think are unsolvable. The citizenry will be forced to acknowledge that they have been told. The time is now. You start talking about it now. Come to places like this one here, and we have many of those. Go to social media, go to podcasts, talk about these things. Over time, by the time we get to 2027, our people will know.
I can't argue with that. I completely agree with you. All I was saying is that to go beyond there in the discharge of the mandate of civic education, other players have to come in, even those who provide budgets and so on.
You know why I agree with you. Even now, this is now we're agreeing with each other. Let me agree with you in return, in response to you having agreed with me. Every time the court pronounced that whether it was President Uhuru or this current president has done something unconstitutional, a court order has been given and they've ignored it. Ideally, they should be arrested. Ideally, contempt of court. It comes with a certain, man. It's an academic discussion. We know what the law. Now, what I like about the law is that we know it exists. We know what ought to happen. And because we know when someone is breaking the law. Yes. You see, that's the beauty of these things. So you can go ahead and break it, but it is known that, and by a much larger population, that what you're doing is contrary to the law. Yes.
And like you've said, even during this same by-election, we saw CSAs walking into polling stations. Some of them were not voting. And you could see even the public was angry at them. So they had to leave. But again, you look at the police who are supposed actually to control that situation. They're unable to arrest this particular CS because number one, amekuja na askari wake. These askari wake are also equally armed, perhaps even more armed than the ones manning the polling station. And so we put ourselves in a situation whereby, yes, we'd like to blame the police for not even doing their work as far as that particular situation is concerned. But also, what choice do we leave them? And it's just one of those things. I'm looking at our country right now, and even as we prepare now for the general election in 2027, I ask myself a lot of questions. Are we, as much as we are campaigning and saying all these things that we're saying and choosing the candidates that we want, are we as Kenyans going to have a free and fair process to ensure that I choose the candidate of my choice?
What you have just outlined is actually, in my view, because I saw the topic that we are discussing here is about whether IEBC has the capacity
to run the elections.
But what you have just outlined, we as Kenyans, we have said we want an election which we have described in the Constitution, we have described it in the legislation. But all of us, are we ready, kila mtu, to do their part so that we deliver to ourselves that Constitution? That really is the big question. Because some of these things. When I was coming here, I was thinking of an analogy. A football match. Out of nowhere, one of the players is feeling this thing is not going our way. He's frustrated. So out of nowhere, when a Caribbean, he slaps another player,
which happens, by the way.
Then the referee can do one of several things.
Red card him or warn him.
red card, ile ingine inaitwa yellow.
Yeah, hiyo ni warning sasa.
Yeah. Or he could even say play on. Yeah,
very true.
But then then the and this is the point I'm making.
Yes.
The conversation then becomes, you referee is biased, bana manapatia mtu yetu. We do not address the initial question. What happened? Why did this guy just
slap
in the middle of a game?
Yeah.
And that's the situation we have with our political leaders. We do not hold them to account from the very beginning of that process. Whether we are talking violence, it starts with them. Obviously, when we are talking about the use of money in the elections, it starts with them. So let us not overemphasize that, IEBC should have done this. By the way, I'm not defending them, but even as we do that, we should be asking, how do we deal with these political leaders who introducing violence? How do we deal with these political leaders who are introducing bribery? How do we deal with these leaders who nonchalantly are public servants, but they are participating in this election using state resources and so on? That's an issue those are issues that we should be holding all these people to account, even as we hold IEBC to account.
We had a conversation here with former Senator Bill Okiro, and one of the things that he said,
I watched it.
Yeah, and if you remember the conversation very well, he did say that sometimes even when he was in Senate, he would write to EACC, for example, and direct them that, look, this Mheshimiwa, this governor is in this particular scandal. This is the amount of money that is in contention. Can you investigate further? Because clearly he's unable. So do your work as EACC. Then EACC will take their sweet time and after a while say that they're unable to do anything about it. And this is after back and forth. They're unable to do anything about it because of the powers that be.
Yes.
And that is where we are as a country. So yes, I will point fingers at IEBC because if I see an issue, I will. But then again, IEBC should also point fingers at the police, and the police will tell me, sasa nataka nifanye nini. So that is where we are as a country.
But at the end of the day, as mwananchi, we should be seeking to hold accountable each of these
people,
bodies.
Yes.
The biggest challenge, of course, is, as I said, it's we living in a time of great polarization in this country,
right?
Politically, so people are going to reach conclusions not because of the logic or the facts, but people are going to reach conclusions because of their underlying political persuasion.
True.
So, for me, I would encourage, because we are talking about IEBC.
Yes.
I would encourage IEBC to do two things: to learn from the by-election.
Yes.
There are clearly things that they will be able to say, here we should have done different, we should have done better. Secondly, identify in relation to the trust deficit. Identify, to use what City was saying, identify the low hanging fruits.
Okay.
As regards bridging that trust deficit, communication is key. And if I was to advise them, I agree with the City that these people should, commissioners or chair, they should have been continuously, in a situation where they are talking to the people of Kenya, keeping them continuously, keeping them informed, even during that 1 month or whatever. Arrange with the media that you'll give us an hour, half an hour every day, because this is in the public interest.
Yes.
We communicate this. That's if I was to talk about what I think, looking at 2027, what they should do in order that they're able to manage 2027. But I think they can manage it.
They will manage it. They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Charles Nyachae, for availing yourself. And we invite you again. Let's continue having these conversations.
Yes. Let's. There are many issues that. I'm still waiting for you to invite me to discuss devolution.
Oh no,
it's very close to my heart.
City will make sure it happens. All right.
I look forward to that. Asanteni sana.